Hi, good morning. Today is the 19th of November, and our meditation is based on Ephesians chapter 1, verse 19. And his incomparably great power for us who believe, that power is the same as the mighty strength. So we are going to talk about the power of God for us. And this is the third part of Paul's prayer in Ephesians chapter 1. The first part was the hope of God's calling for them. And then yesterday we talked about the inheritance of God, and today about the power. As we have said before, many times before, in the long phrase that goes from verse 3 to verse 14 of chapter 1, Paul is going to use three different times. The first is it's a past time, but it's a very long past time. It's a time that starts in eternity. And then there is the future, the eternity future. And in between those two times, there is this present time. So in this prayer, Paul is also going to talk about these three times, because when he's talking about the hope of God's calling for us, he's talking about that election and that calling from God that comes from eternity. And then the inheritance, it is talking in when he talks about inheritance, he's talking about something that is coming in a future. So what is this power business about? What is it for? It is for the present time that we need this power. And he's going to use three different words in Greek to talk about power. The first one is energion, where the word energy in English comes from. And then there is another one that means strength, and kratos that means power. So energy, strength, and power. Why do we need all this energy, strength, and power from God? So we are going to take a few days to meditate on this power of God. The first verse I would like to read, the second verse actually, it is Revelation chapter 5, verse 6. Then I saw a lamb looking as if it had been slain, standing at the center of the throne, encircled by the four living creatures and the elders. The Lamb had 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent out into all the earth. So the 7 spirits of God are represented by the 7 eyes. But what are these 7 horns? There is no lamb with seven horns, and this is symbolic, of course. So 7 means it's the number of perfection. So here, and horn is the strength. So this is a lamb that has got 7 strengths, 7 powers. So it is a lamb that is full of power. It has all the power. And the fact even that Paul is using the word power in different words for power in Ephesians it's very interesting, because God is 3 times holy and God is powerful, powerful, powerful. He's 3 times powerful, and he's got all the power in the universe. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20 says this: now to him who is able to immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. So God's power is at work within us. This mighty, this strength, this kratos, this power is within us. And we're going to see yesterday when this power came into us. Being strengthened in all power according to his glorious might, so that you may have great endurance and patience. In order to run, we need endurance. In order to live this Christian life, we need endurance. And this endurance, this patience, this perseverance we get from God's power in us. It is the fuel that gives energy. Without the fuel, your car cannot move. Without the electricity in certain machines, they cannot work. Without God's power in you, you cannot live. You cannot walk. You cannot run. That's for sure. And you will never arrive there in God's house to receive your inheritance. So we need God's power. We need God's power to trust that He's guiding us in the calling that He has given us. And we need God's power to be able to run and to arrive where we are going to arrive. And the text that we read was in Colossians chapter 1, verse 11. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. We are jars of clay. And in these jars of clay, God has put His power. He has given us His power. So it is very interesting to see the fragility here and the power. The clay and the power. You know that how weak we can be. And this fragility in us, it's seen all over your life, all over our lives, all over our days, as we try to understand, and even now, this difficult situation we are living with this virus. There's weakness everywhere. But God is a powerful God, 3 times powerful, all powerful. And He is here to help us to get through any difficult situation, because we are more than conquerors in Christ Jesus. God bless you.